This is Hannibal here from thehannibaltv.com, coming at you from beautiful Miami, Florida tonight. Been really enjoying my time here so far. Would definitely love to live here if it wasn't so expensive, but let's get into the news. Logan Paul recently sold a Pokemon card for almost $17 million. I remember Pokemon being popular at one time. I guess it still is really popular, and I guess he's a great collector to be able to get 16 point something million, nearly 17 million for a Pokemon card. That's amazing. One thing I heard him say that I totally disagree on him with is I don't think he understands why he's used in wrestling. It's because he has a following that some of that following watch him in wrestling, and because he's under WWE contract, they let him bring people on his YouTube channel, Impulsive, and he never had wrestlers on before. The channel was actually better before he started having wrestlers on all the time. And it's almost been a WWE takeover to his channel, and they're very bland WWE style interviews when he does them now. He doesn't ask really any questions with any meat on them. But real wrestling fans know that his matches are completely choreographed. It's wrestled by numbers, which most matches are. I'll give him that these days. But he said, quote, the greatest match ever for WrestleMania would be him versus Bad Bunny. Okay. According to AI, Logan Paul has had 31 to 32 matches his entire career, about 5 years. And Bad Bunny has had 4 matches. And I don't know who Bad Bunny is other than some type of rapper. I don't care for that type of music. I have zero interest in watching either of them wrestle. I get that they're celebrities, and it would be a big match from a celebrity standpoint. Although at this point, we've seen Logan Paul wrestle a bunch of times. The newness of Logan Paul wrestling has worn off. And I truly think the height of Logan Paul's popularity has worn off at this point. Same with Jake Paul. I think the height of Jake Paul's popularity has worn off at this point with the loss in boxing and being totally outclassed against a legit boxer a couple months ago. I'm not saying that he's still not more popular than every other wrestler on the roster other than Brock Lesnar. But I'm just saying, to say that would be the greatest wrestling match of all time, a match that would have to be completely choreographed because neither of you have had enough matches to put together a match yourself. And I don't know. I just have to say that would be the greatest match of all time. That just shows you that you know absolutely nothing about wrestling, but you're making a lot of money in it. But again, they're paying you to make WWE look cool because it's not cool overall these days. But to the younger generation, you're considered cool. It gets people on your podcast. It's not because real wrestling fans give a crap about your wrestling. If anything, it's a turnoff. Ronda Rousey, another celebrity pro wrestler that real wrestling fans didn't like. I guess the cage fight she's going to be having in May is going to be 5-minute rounds in a hexagon cage on Netflix, and it's going to have to be a hexagon because UFC owns the copyright to the octagon. Now, it's on Netflix. I'm sure there's going to be some eyes on that, and she says that she thinks that's going to draw more than UFC gets these days on Paramount. I actually agree with that because UFC, I don't know what's really happened, but it doesn't seem like they have too many fighters that are big names anymore. And it's just, again, the new, there's no more like real characters in UFC right now that have captured the public's attention. So I do believe, yes, she is right. Even though it's 2 fighters, 143, 139, neither of them have fought for a while, and each of them got knocked out first round their last fights. people know Ronda Rousey from WWE, and she's a good heel, as in most people don't like her, so they'll want to see her get knocked out again. So I do believe people will watch that fight. I agree with Ronda on that. Rusev, who everyone is expecting to do a job to Oba Femi soon, because Rusev's hardly been. He had that lackluster career in AEW where he made a fortune, but he was hardly ever used. Then he went back to WWE, and he's gone back to being hardly used there. But he is still making a fortune from what I understand. But apparently he started in a wrestling school with Gangrel. Gangrel is a very good guy. It was his birthday yesterday. I've wrestled Gangrel a couple of times. Good luck to them on the school. But obviously Rusev did not have a very good relationship with Tony Khan. And obviously he's not doing too well in WWE. I wouldn't be surprised if they release him out of his contract at this point, because he got zero steam. He's looking for something beyond wrestling at this point, beyond WWE and AEW. Yeah, Ivan, I know Bad Bunny is Puerto Rican, because I believe they used him in Puerto Rico, which is interesting. WWE was supposed to do a pay-per-view from Puerto Rico this year, but obviously somewhere else paid them more because they canceled it. Someone, I don't know if they're making a joke or what, but I don't answer that. Toxic, there's quite a few people in the comments. There's 43 people watching at 9:56 p.m. on an unadvertised live stream. And I make enough to be able to go to Miami for some cosmetic operations that I've wanted for a long time. So thank you for caring so much about my business. It's doing better than ever. Got almost 20 million views on Facebook last month, and add another 5 from YouTube. Are you Post Malone? I don't even know who Post Malone is, other than I recognize the name. Florida is great, my friend. Yes, Logan Paul made that much from a Pokemon card. Big Daddy Trips 619. The WWE is so cringe. It's not what, for instance, WWE. Here's how unbiased I am. The Vault, the WWE's Vault channel, posted a house show from the London Gardens in London, Ontario from 1991 with the Ultimate Warrior against Sergeant Slaughter in the main event the other day. I watched the whole thing, and I actually enjoyed it. So I am still a wrestling fan. I just don't like these spoiled brats. Most of these wrestlers these days are paid to train, and they're just told what to do in the matches, and the matches are produced, as we see on Unreal, by producers with headsets telling them what to do just in case they forget anything when they practice it, and the characters just aren't there anymore. It's not what I grew up liking. I am going to put on my own event in August that I hope can be more old school. But I'm not going to promise more than one event this year, but this will be a huge event, which I'll talk more about soon. I have an amazing opponent for that event. Jean-Claude Van Damme wants to fight Jake Paul in a fight now. Marco Polo, and that's probably the best move that Jake Paul could do, because I don't want to see him box again. That's just my opinion. I don't want to see him box again. Jean-Claude Van Damme in a gimmick fight against Logan Paul. Yeah. Oh, Mike Tyson, by the way, is having a gimmick fight in Zaire, where Ali versus Foreman happened years ago, against Mayweather. Again, old fighters, because you know why? The UFC people of today, they might be good athletes, but they're just not interesting. People would rather see Jean-Claude Van Damme fight Jake Paul, who Jake Paul is a good heel, or old Mike Tyson against 65-year-old Jean-Claude Van Damme. That's just where we're at in 2026. Do I think Rusev will get a push? No. No, they tried to push him when he came back to WWE, and it went nowhere. And I think he's going to be released soon. I think he's going to do the job to Obafemi and not be around much longer. Obafemi, another good athlete, but he's a track athlete that WWE signed and trained. He posts dressing room pictures, which are not kayfabe, because he doesn't care. He'd rather post a picture with a diva that's means nothing. But hey, we're all friends in the back. Just in case you forget, here's a picture that shows we're all friends in the back. Ronda versus Cyborg, no. Ronda versus, and I believe I said it earlier, but I forgot her name already. The girl that lost to Cyborg, Ronda, let me look it up here, versus Gina Carano, who I'm not very familiar with. Yes, we like the Warrior. Jacob, all disclosure is going to be, and it's not going to be full disclosure, is I think the president is going to say when it happens, probably this summer, that we are being visited by something that we're not exactly sure what they are. But we're looking into it. We're doing our best to find out what they are. I don't think nothing's really going to change. Nothing's going to change, because you don't need the people that want to know the truth. You can read Jacques Vallée's books. The information is out there if you want to look, and you can decide what you're going to believe and what you're not, and how much of it you're going to believe. But we're definitely being visited. Where they're from, who knows? They could be from here. And it's most likely a bunch of different visitors, not all with the same intentions, not all from the same place. But is the president admitting that something's going on that the government has known about since at least the 40s and has been dealing with since at least the 40s? Yes, that's going to happen this year for sure. Yeah, the vault, Robert, I liked the vault overall, especially from the stuff that I grew up watching. Shotgun Saturday Night. We didn't really get it in Canada. But that was WWE's TV show that they did in bars around New York, which apparently messed up the WWE's travel schedule, because that was back in the days where they were taping Raw live only every second week, and they were trying to tape every week from now a bar in New York, and it was Saturday night New York traffic because they were trying to do it live. The whole show was just a mess, but yeah, I remember it. Am I getting PCO for my show? I think PCO now lives in Florida. It's possible, but honestly, PCO's getting up there in age. I don't know if he's 60 yet or late 50s. He's doing well for himself in JCW. But it's possible, but I have some extremely great talent lined up for the event, and you guys aren't even going to believe the person that I'm going to be wrestling. It's something very exciting. Rusev is a jobber. Rusev is anyone that did the angle that Rusev did, letting another man make out with his wife on top of him. That literally ended his career right there. And I've said it before, I'll say it again. No real man is ever going to respect a guy that does that, fake or not. It doesn't matter. Why would you do that? And that did ended their run. He was never over again after that. Do I think Steven Seagal is a good fighter? He's become very lazy, and he now is some sort of Russian representative, from what I understand. He's very good friends with Putin. The August show will be within driving distance of Ottawa, Robert. It will also be in driving distance of Montreal. To answer your question, and it will be by far, nothing even close, the biggest indie event in that area. Yeah, it's going to be in Canada. I do hope to promote an event in the US later this year, though. Do hope that. Will I be doing bare knuckle fighting? Not unless they pay me a lot of money. I did hear today that Tommy Morrison's son is going to be having a bare knuckle fighting match in Utah coming up soon. He was victorious in his first fight a while ago. He was supposed to do an interview with me. Hopefully he will for his next fight, because he was going to do one with me before a fight that ended up got canceled, so it's been delayed. But hopefully we'll get that interview with Kenzie Morrison soon. But what's his name? The new bare knuckle heavyweight champion, Andrei Arlovsky, just won it at 48. So congratulations to him. I believe he had the most fights ever in UFC history. Someone says TNA is better than WWE right now. Well, it's one of the WWE's farm systems, and I'll be honest, I read the results of TNA and it doesn't entice me, but I'm glad you're liking it. I'll stick with the WWE Vault, and mostly I watch WWE highlights. I really dislike AEW. I actually can't stand it, but I will watch AEW highlights here and there. But thank you for being so interactive today. Let me know what you thought about what we talked about tonight in the comments. Have a great night.